Hi everybody, Heidi, your Yorkshire crafter. How are we? How are you doing? I hope you're well. It is, what is it? I move all my rubbish out up there. Got my tab upside down so I can't even tell you the date. It's Tuesday the 23rd of July. I had my pot off yesterday. I am absolutely crippled in pain. They was very rude with me. And the lady before me. The lady before me came out crying. Both of us were told, you need a splint. We don't have any, get your own. You need physio, do your own at home. That's it. There was no re-x-raying, there was just nothing. It was such a poor deal. So I bought this on the way home, and then I talked to somebody who says, this one, buy this one, and I put this on. It just took the pain away, but it comes right down here and I can't craft with it on, so I am going to use this one for crafting until I've got proper strength back. But as soon as I come off, that's the one I'm using. So yeah, so it wasn't the best experience. She came out of the doctor's office crying. I got in the car and burst into tears where Andy was sat waiting for me with Rosa. So it wasn't the best day yesterday. But you know what? I'm back now. We're all good. It's nice to have the pot off. My skin was, you can see it, raw. I think that was knitting needles. But hey. Right. So, the giveaway today, I know I've just told you it's Tuesday, but this is Sunday now. The giveaway today is from Danny Doodles. Ignore the Chunky Monkey. This is a rebranding is Danny Doodles. Let me get you a card. So it's Danny Doodles. And if you go onto Danny's website, I've put the link in group for it. But if you go on Danny's website and use the code Heidi-15, then you get 15% off until the 5th of August. I mean, that's belting, isn't it? Not many do that. So I contacted Danny through, it was somebody in group who mentioned about Danny's company. So I bought some and I liked them. So I contacted Danny. I don't show things that I don't like. And yet I won't slag a company off either. If I don't like it, I just won't show it. So yeah, I liked him. So then I contacted Danny and asked about a giveaway. And obviously Danny got on board. There are very different ones if you want to go and look on Danny's website. But some of them I obviously can't show for reasons where they're a bit more risky, if you like. But yeah, these back of stamps, back of envelopes. I just think we've never had a giveaway like this. I don't know anybody else who does them. So yeah, and I know already quite a few of you have put in your orders and you'd never heard of them before either. So that was me and you. So thanks, Danny, we appreciate that. So I thought, you lot keep it saying to me, one of the questions on live all the time is, how do you make your envelopes? Where do you get your envelopes from? And I always say, Gina K. And I pay $6.99 or $7.99 for 10. And I've always told you, I've got an envelope machine. Just don't use it. Don't know how to use it. It don't work. This is my envelope machine. And I got it out today. I'm playing with bits of vellum. I got it out today. And just like that, I didn't even read it. Just like that, it worked. And I know exactly what I was doing wrong. So on a piece of scrap, I'll show you actually what I was doing wrong. Let's just cut this down. I'll go through sizes in a minute, but let me just cut this down and show you what I was doing wrong. I hope that's all going to fall off. I need my cutter over here to do the... Oh gosh. I still haven't got my big one, my 12x12 one out of box yet. So let me just cut this down to where this will make an A2 envelope. I'll go through sizes in a minute. This is just scrap. I'll show you how quick it is and how to make an envelope. So it tells you actually. So you'll start off, I'm doing an A2 envelope. I'll talk to it properly in a minute, but I'm doing an A2. So my first cutting mark's 3 3/4. I'm going to slow down in a minute, I promise you. I'm just doing this to show you. So I'm going to punch me hole. Gosh, that went through quick because it's wafer thin. And I'm going to mark up my paper. Now, what I was doing is turning it to the right and going back to that 3 3/4, punching it and marking up the groove. Same again to my 3 3/4, punching it, marking up the groove. Gosh, it's hard on flimsy paper. Same again, punch it and mark it up my groove. Right, so that would be my envelope made. I'm just using this as an example, for my A2 card base, which is 5.5 by 4 1/4. That don't fit, does it? Absolutely no way does that fit. I mean, yeah, I could squash it down to do it, but look at all crease marks you've got on ends then. And I just clicked and I knew what I'd done wrong. So I'll show you how to make an envelope. So I've cut this. In fact, shall we start with a fresh piece? Because I'm going to make them into envelopes anyway. And then I'll show you exactly how I'm cutting. Let me just get a piece of card. Oops. I'm coming. Right, I don't have any thinner card left. I've got some coming, but I'll show you where I've cut it anyway. And I'm going to cut another piece this size anyway, in a different card. So what you've got to do, where have I put my envelope maker now? Oh, it's here. So what you've got to do is, if you look here, I'm going to make an A2 card. So my A2 says that my paper size has got to be 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. So I had to look up to find out what an 1/8 was. And if you look, like at 3 there, the next one up is an 1/8. So that's how I worked it out myself. So I've cut this at 8 1/8. Can you see that? I should put, you could put black ink over that to make it stand out. All right. So I've cut that with 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. And this is £80 Nina Classic Crest. But we're going to use other card as well. So you bring in your envelope maker. Let me just move these out. Wait a minute. And on my A2, what I'm doing, it says the 8 1/8 by 8 1/8, and your first score line, which you follow up there, your first score line is 3 3/4. That is the only time you will measure. That's what you need to know. It's the only time you will ever measure. So we're going 3 3/4. And we're going to punch. And we're going to take our bone folder. It does come with one Mine's somewhere else. I've had this over 2 years. I just couldn't understand it. So 3 3/4, we've punched the hole, and then we're going up with our bone folder. You just go right into the groove that it's got there. Yeah, right into the groove. Now, where I was making my mistake, I was turning the paper to the right. Turn the paper to the left. And where you've got score guide, and you've just made that crease, put that crease so that it's level with that line. Yeah? And punch and score. Same again, you'll turn it to the left, put that line level with that marker, punch and score. Same again, punch and score. Then when I take it out, that's how it should look. You've got all 4 holes. Now if you move it down a little bit and put your paper in the back hole, it will curve your card. This is a genius for me. I can make an envelope in under a minute now. Gone are the days of buying them. Absolutely gone are the days. Because now I can also personalise them by colouring them the colours I want, because depending on what card you're using. So I'm just gonna, you don't have to go over it with your bone folder. I don't think I suppose it depends how thick your card is, but just fold it in, fold it in, fold it in. There we go. Now all I'm going to do is push the 2 middles in, and that one's going to come up there. But I'm going to use red liner tape, and I know from this line here that I only want to start here to come down. Otherwise, if you put it there, it's going to stick on your card, because you're going to have your card in there. So I know by looking at it, it's got to be from there. You can put it on this side, but I find this easier, because if you put it on that side and you put it at the edge, then this bit flaps up. So it needs to be on the edge of this side. Unless you're really good at measuring, and I'm not, we know that. I've got tape on my scissors at glue. That's my worst thing ever. Shouldn't use my good ones. Same again. And I'm going to put them down like that. Red liner tape comes off dead easy. And while you're holding them down, just push it down, and you've got it 100% secure, and you've got one fantastic envelope. We don't stop there. So I'm going to do this bit once, and only once, because I'll explain to you why as well. I do have a book somewhere. I thought I'd come here all organised, all set, ready. And, oh, ow, and now I've just kicked my cutter. Right, we'll come back to that other bit in a minute, because I can't find it. Well, that's a bit unreal. Right, I'm looking for the book where I'm going to do an insert for you, but I don't know where I've put the book. Anyway, I'll do it on another one when I find the book. So, you can do what you want with these envelopes, but we're going to do... I found it. Let's do it. So I'm not going to cut this piece of paper. I've given away over 100 12x12 pads. So I'm very limited. I've got about 3 pads. So I thought I'd just take a piece of this, something that you can see. Let's do it with that. And I'm going to use my folder. I might have needed a full piece actually. Let's have a look. 3 3/4, like I did with my other one just. It's not going to be right. We know it's not going to be right. As long as you can line that line up. What we're trying to aim, I've got a feeling this won't work. I think it's got to be the same size. Line it up. See, I've only got it out to play with it today, so it's all trial and error for me as well. But I am so impressed. Shocked at myself. So I'm just going to punch one end because I only want this bit. I have done it wrong. Nope, it'll work for what we want. I'm going to get my little cutter, and what I'm going to do, down this line here, I'm going to cut it straight off. And down this line here, I'm going to cut it straight off. And I'm going to cut the bottom off. I've took my guard off because I couldn't get the paper through when I was using bigger pieces. So I've cut that one side off. I'm going to cut that side off, and I'm just going to cut the bottom off. And I'm going to put this on before it gets lost. In future, I'm going to do all my cards with matching envelopes. Things are going to be different. It's going to save me money. Oh, I cut the wrong end off, didn't I? Thought that looked a bit different. I can't punch it with my left hand, so it has been a bit awkward. So I'm going to sit this on the inside. I know your liners would normally be wider, but there was a reason behind mine, which I'll show you. If you fold that down, lift it back up, I'm only putting my tape on. I'm not putting glue. I don't want no come back, you know, looking through her out. Now that's my liner done. Doesn't need to be down these sides. And I cut it off, and I'm not sticking that down. So it's absolutely fine. If I want to put a card in there, that's my card envelope done. But I talked to Andy, and I've spoke to somebody else. When you get your card like that off me, how do you open it? If you're like me, I get my pair of scissors, I put them in there, and I rip it up. So what's the point of a liner? So I won't be putting liners in, even though it looks nice like that. But if I was giving it somebody, hand delivering it, I'd tack it down with a... Well, I want to get one of the wax kits. I'd tack it down with a wax thing so they can just lift it up, and that would look pretty. But for somebody who's just going to rip it open, which is what I do, then it's a total waste of money. So I won't be doing that. Just think about which way you open your cards before you start putting extra cost in, and extra width as well, depth, whichever way you want to look at it. Anyway, we've done it on that one. But what we're also going to do, we're going to grab a couple of stamps. I've got quite a few different makes out, but there's a stamp that I particularly want. Oh, it's there. I'm going to grab this stamp. This is just Small and Create. Do you know what? I've looked through their stamps, and out of all the makes I've got, these are the best ones for envelopes. There's just so many random things. So I'm taking that one. I'm taking that one. I'm taking that one. Now what we're doing, we are using permanent ink. So I know this is also one of the questions on the live, so I might as well answer it now as well. They were saying that they couldn't get this to splatter, only the element inks. Well, this is permanent ink, that's why it won't splatter. But you wanted to know also what was the other good inks that'll splatter. Distress inks, absolutely phenomenal, and might alter you. There'll be loads more out there that are brilliant at it, but these do fantastic splatter. But your distress ones, you ask anybody, it'll always be an absolute from everybody. So I'm going to use Lilac Bloom. I'm not using any in particular, not for no particular reason or out. I'm just putting a bit of colour on an envelope to show you it doesn't have to be fancy. And yet, it can look quite fancy. That was a good start, wasn't it? I can't even... I can't even, what do you call it? Because I didn't use my... That's because I had my liner in. It didn't work like that on my others. Let's see if I can. I can't, but let's see if we can. Oh dear. No. No, but do you know what? I'm alright with that as well. Some people won't know that it's meant to be a single flower, not a one that makes your eyes go funny. Oh dear. Now I'm going Golden Meadow. I'm not worried by it. I mean, for a start off, it's an All and Create stamp. And that's what a lot of their stamps are like. So, you know what? Yeah. I think we can groove to this. I am going to spend most of my time doing this all the time now, you know. I just know it. Because I've been enjoying it. Can't believe I kept saying to you, no, no, no. I'd rather pay £7 a go. No, I wouldn't. I've just ordered 25 sheets of £80 Nina. And it was $6.99. That was from Bumbleberries. But I normally have some in. I haven't got any. So I'm just literally putting a bit of colour down. And that's that envelope done for me. So you don't have to do what else with that envelope. No protection needed, no. That's it. We're going to put a few sentiments on out of the giveaway. But look how easy that was, and I think that's lovely to send in post, mate. Well, somebody better like it, because somebody will be getting it. These are your envelopes. Instead of winning cards tonight, you're winning envelopes. So, who knows what kind of card you're going to have in it. No idea. Right. I keep kicking that cutter. What can we have on it? Let's have... I already did a dummy run of this one. So, I'm actually going to put the same one on because I thought it looked lovely. This one is Open Me with a Smile. And I want to use, what do I want to, that's what I want to use. Chianti. Ow. Open Me with a Smile. I just thought that were nice top and bottom. Nice place for my stamp, nice place for my address, and a pretty little thing on the front. What you could do is put some flowers on the back. You could do the same up here. I don't know if I'd want to do that. I'm going to put another one on the back saying, caution, this envelope is overflowing with awesomeness. Because it will be by the time I finished it. Awesome. Awesome, there you go. Right. See, I like that. You don't have to put loads onto one envelope. You just think how many cards you're going to be sending out. And how many different sentiments you'll have that you can write on each other people's cards. So they're not getting a repeat one. So that's number one. Do you like it? I like that it worked right there, you know. It just fits for all and create, does that? So nothing else needed. Doesn't have to be protected. It can go straight out into weather sorted. These are some coloured ones that I did that are bigger and square. So I'll show you another square one. Yeah, I put a liner in that, but I didn't put it down far enough. But this was also before I clicked about not putting them in. Also, I will show you this tonight, hopefully, if it's come. I've ordered it already. But there's glue that you put on, like envelope glue. It's proper envelope glue. And you let it dry. And then when you come to send your envelope, your card, you just activate it by wetting it a little bit. And it sticks down like a normal envelope. So I'm giving that a go. That was $11.99 for two quite big glues. Same glue, but you just got two in it. And that one Create and Craft. This cutter, I'll put the link in for, now I've written it down outside me. This is $26.79. I think that's dead good, me. I think it's really cheap because this is what you're going to use constantly all the time to make your envelopes. They go massive. You need 11.5 by 11.5 sheet of paper. That's a huge envelope. They go massive. And also, oh, I'll show you this other bit in a minute when I'll tell you how much it is when I show you. Right, we'll do another envelope. And we're going to use, wait a second. Now we're using Bristol Smooth. Now I did look at somebody online, Christine Werner. She does mail art, and she blow you out at what, she's fantastic. But she does it. It is what she does as a job, but she's also does calligraphy and everything. But you want to watch her, she blows your mind. But she uses this, so that's why I got this out. Now I've cut this at the same size. It's 8 1/4. Nope. It's 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. So the first crease is going to be 3 3/4, and you don't crease again. That's a lie, you do. You don't mark again. So 3 3/4. Get your folder, punch. Now you can tell it with thicker card. Oops. And mark. Turn to the left, line them up, punch, and mark. To the left, line it up, Crunch. Mark. Last one. Now, with these, you don't have to do every edge, you know. I just do it because I don't know which edge is which. So I just do them all, and it looks good. And it's not costing you. You might as well use it. See how quick to make that? I tell you, I cannot believe I never used it. That was me, because I look at this and I see numbers, I'm like, forget it. Heidi doesn't do numbers. So, same again. Oh, I have to be careful with my hand. We're just folding them on the creases. This one I've not practiced. I did a couple just to see what they're like. I did some plain ones. I did a couple of stamps. I stenciled on one. But I'm not going to do all that because we'll end up running out of time. I might do some more yet. So, same again. I'm going to take my tape. Now, I know that I need to start here. Take it down to there. Oh, I'm going to have to clean these. They are going to drive me nuts. Can't stand mucky scissors. We all have a pet hate, don't we? I'll put the thing in for the red liner tape as well, but I told you how much mine were on last live. I paid $6.99 for a 3mm, a 6mm and a 9mm. I've had cheaper red line tape and I wouldn't do it again. Like somebody said on live and all, they bought their red liner from Temu and they wouldn't do it again either. So I do think it's one of those that needs to be bought decent. I don't agree with that with everything, but I definitely do with my tape. Right. And because it's made out of the Strathmore, it's got a really nice feel to it and all. So I ain't done this one, so we're going to have a play with this one. And just in case, I'm going to mask that off. I do know an idea of what I want to do. I'm going to put some colour on it. Come on, I can't see it creasing envelope because that light. That'll do. I'm just going to have a drink. Right. So I'm gonna do a bit of, you know when I do the faux watercolor, I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna put this one away because we've finished with that one. I'm gonna use that. Now then, what do I want to do? So I'm going to use some Zig pens and I'm going to put a bit of watercolour here, and I think I'm going to blend around the corner. I'm going to see how it'll go. Either way it's going to look alright. I don't know if it might be too much for one envelope. Soon find out. Using my paddles. Not worried about my stamps being different colours. That's what, well, I wouldn't say just my zigs, but it's not just my zigs. It's other things do it and all, especially on reds or pinky purples. So I'm just sticking a bit of colour on the stem. This is my favourite technique to do, I think. I keep umming and ahhing when people are asking me, but I do. Well, I don't know. It might not even be my favourite, but it's one of the best. It's one that makes you look quite professional. Now I'm going to squirt this twice. Normally, if I'm using proper watercolor cards, I would squirt it 3 times. I'm going to squirt it twice. Oops. Oops. 2.5. So I've got to think my stamps go in here. My address can go there. So I'll have this one quite high up. Could have done with putting some paper in, but I don't think it'll go through. Oh, yeah. Ah, this is going to look lovely. Just putting one on there. It looks nice already, doesn't it? Just that. How did that go in there like that? I don't want to put out else, but I'm gonna. So stamp here. Address. What have we got? Is that what we just used? Ah, right. That's what we just used. I don't know what to do. I'm going to go with this one. We can try it. I'm tempted to try it. Not on card, but do you know what? Let's just do it. Nice and easy if I do it all same colour, or shall I add a bit of colour into it? No, I'm going to keep it simple. Twice. And a bit. Ow. Now then. Oh, I should have done it twice. I can see how quickly it's bubbled up. Yeah. Should have been twice. It's okay. That's all right. I might not be keen on the flower I've chosen, but we'll see. Now I'm going to put one here with, I want a bit of colour on it. That'll do. That will do nicely. So green stem. I'm going to go in with my yellow. And I might whack a little bit of orange round by its stem. Let's see what happens to that. Now I really have just done it twice. Let's have a look. Yeah. See, I like that. Do you think that's enough? The address. I think that's enough. Time's okay. I'm going to stop on that one because I think that's enough on there. But what I am going to do, oh, I could have used this one, couldn't I? I've got a few of theirs now and I hadn't. Oh, that'd have been nice. We could, let's have a look. Is that too much for the back envelope? I think it is, isn't it? I'll try that little one. And I'll just do it green and we'll best do yellowy orange, aren't we? Otherwise it's not going to look right. There's your green. I'll put a bit of green up there. That'll do, I think. Maybe a bit of orange. Let's have a look. 2 squirts. Oh, let me just get that little bit of dark up there. There we go. There we go. I think that looks nice on back. Now my plan was, I'm going to let that dry in its own, to bring some colour around here, but I'm not going to do it on this one because I think that just looks quite elegant. If somebody's name's written lovely there, I like that, I'm impressed with that. So I'm going to leave that one. So we'll do another. I'm doing this size envelope because it's the kind of envelope I work with. Very rare I use a different size card. I'll cut 2 of these because I might do 2. So I'm going to do my A2. It tells me I have to have 8 1/8 squared. I'm doing both while I've got it up. We forgot. That's the whole point of doing the envelopes, isn't it? Let's have... It's here, quick, hide it. Oh, I like that. Admit you're smiling already. Like I say, I don't think you need to put loads on because then everybody gets to see them then and you want to have new ones. Yeah, I think that would be nice down there. And maybe also, yeah. And I think we'll stamp with, what can we stamp with? I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it in green, which matches most of the green on there. Oh, goodness me. Let's have a look. See, isn't that just lovely? Oh, I'm dead excited to send these out now. See, depending on what I'm doing on it, if it's not something, if I'm doing, oh my goodness, if I'm not using water, I will use the £80 Nina. If I'm using water or like this, because I'll splatter them, then I'll use the Strathmore. So they'll both be good to have in. And as soon as I get them in, I'll get them cut straight down, and then it's all ready just to make the envelopes, isn't it? There we go. I think that's lovely. I really do. I'd be more than happy to receive that. So one of you is going to get that on Sunday. That turned out all right, didn't it? Lovely. Right. I can't even remember what we're going to do on this one. So I'm starting at 3 3/4, which I've got drummed into my head. Punch and mark. Line it up. Punch and mark. Line it up. Aren't they quick to make? Why have I never used it and I've had it all this time? I'm so cross with myself. Now then, I've got my stamp sets here, but I just can't remember what I was doing with them. I'll just move these others out of the way. Right. I actually don't know what I'm going to do with it. Let's get it made up. I'm spoilt for choice now because I've got so many ideas and what have you. And not the time to do them. And I've got to rest, the doctor says. Well, no, she didn't. Dr. Andy did. Tape. Again, we know it needs to be down here. Otherwise, it'll stick to your card. You can use wet glue if you want, you know. You don't have to use red liner tape. It's just, I know this is never going to let me down. It's super strong. And it's easy to get backing off. Wet glue I just don't fancy for something like this. Static. Perfect. Super duper. I know there's a few of you going to come in with some different size ones, so that'd be nice to see. Because I ain't done the different size. Well, I've done a few, but like I say, it's not something I send out. Well, I know what I'm going to do on my next one. Do you know what? I'm going to go back to this. This is purely to show you something else. What shall I do? I'll colour first. So I'll just use, I did get a few colours out, but I didn't know what, I don't want to use any of them. I've got them out for something else. In fact, we'll go yellow and orange. I'll get orange out in a minute. Just as a quick example. So we know that this is water active and all, so you've got to think about that. I'm only going to do the corner. I've got to think about my stamp and the address. That's really odd for me having it that way around. Oh, it blends so nice on these. On this card. Just grab the orange. And the orange brush. Just to make it a little bit darker at edges. I'll probably get it all over the back because I'm not concentrating, but I should have put some over the back actually. Right, that'll do. Don't forget, this is literally just to show you. This is no plan, no nothing. This is, I don't even know what it's going to turn out like. It's literally to show you what to do with the colour. So this could all go pear-shaped yet. I'm just going to give it a quick blast. And see what I'm going to stamp on it. Now then, I might even just put them on coming in that way. Do you know what? That's what I'm going to do. Something different. And I'm going to stamp them in black. I'm not bothered if I don't get writing on, that's not what it's about. In fact, I'm not even going to try. It's not going to sit very well. I should have let this dry first. Oh, it's okay. Ideally, I should have let it dry though. Same again. Should have put writing on because writing's going to come on this one. Never mind. Oops, I might smudge that. Things aren't as easy. Don't take your wrists for granted. It's awful. And the last little one, I'm just going to put there. Oh, look what I've done. I've proper smudged that. It wouldn't have done that if this were properly dry. Oh well. There's not much I can do with that either. We'll just put this one down to a disaster. I'm still going to use it. Sorry, but one of you is getting the smudge. Yeah, it's definitely Now I need this to be dry before I show you the next stage. I mean, you could even do these parts before you put the envelope in position, you know what I mean? Just mask it off everywhere. I need to make sure my hands are clean and all. Let's have a look. Oh, that's warm. Oh, I say. I've even put muck on back. Look, I'm putting muck everywhere. Let's have a look. That looks dry to me. Right, I've got a clean finger. Still got a clean finger. Right, so we know that this is going to activate this. We know this. So it's not a surprise when we dab it off that it lifts the... See what I mean about these inks being good for the splatter? They're absolutely fantastic. That's a shame it didn't pick that bit up, innit? Oops, that were a big old splatter. Just give it a minute. Might pick up round it. Yeah, it makes it stand out more. Silly girl. Anyway, so we know that that's going to react. So when you go out in the rain to post this, that's coming off. So we know that for definite. That's the only reason why I've just wet it now. It weren't to get splatters on it, was to show you that that is what's going to happen if the post is delivering this. That's what's going to happen. I mean, it'd look pretty cool when it got there, wouldn't it? Right, hang on, we know that's going to be hot. So this is the other thing I was telling you about. Now, you can use Vaseline, but I've heard bad things about it for this technique that we're going to do. So it's up to you if you want to risk it. But I'm not going to try it. So this, I've had this a long time and all. In fact, if you look back at my videos, you'll see me use it many a time. Oh. £9.95. Sounds expensive. It's Ranger. We know it's good. That's all I've used in, what, over 12 months of having it. So all you're going to do... I want a clean finger. I have got some white. I've got a couple, that'll work. So all you're going to do, put your finger in it, you're just getting a little bit on your hand. And you're going to cover everywhere where that ink is. Oh, that's still warm. This is why I needed the black to be dry as well. Otherwise, it will smudge if it's not dry. So if mine starts smudging now, we know it's not dry enough. So if you're doing something like this, I'd just leave it for a while after you've put the black on. Just go away and leave it for a bit. Make your envelopes in advance. So now we've put this on. You can see where that it's all covered because it shines and looks greasy as out and what have you. So I know I've got none there. And then I can see that I've got it all there. That's all you need. Wipe my finger. Get a clean piece of kitchen towel. Take it off the way down, not across. So all you're going to do is wipe it off. And that there now is protected by the rain, from the rain. And it looks no different. So that's all protected. Yeah, good. That's it, I'm still going to use it. So let's stick some on it. And I'll show you other couple that I made as well, because it's time now. If you want to see any more, let me know and I'll show you some different techniques on them. I mean, this wasn't out special, it was literally just to show you, if it's water reactive ink you're using, then cover it. Right. Let's go. Let's go. Your days of stalking the postman are over. I like that one, me. Ex-poster. Where's my wand gone? It's here, look. I'm going to have to start using things that aren't see-through. I can never find them. Envelope. Stamp. Oh, let me just tell you. If you do a full background and you want to cover it, because you can do it, do your ink in, write your address, and then put the glaze on, but don't put it where your stamp's going to be, because your stamp won't stick to the glaze. So just telling you that. Where shall we go? Could put it there. I want it where the postie will see it. It'll get lost there. And we're just going to put it here. When we were posted, or when I were posted, we used to like to see stuff like this. They should bring a stamp out. There you go, Danny. Bring a stamp out saying thank you, postie. Stuff like that is really appreciated. Let's put one on back. And then I'll leave you to it. Let's go with that. I hope the contents of this envelope make you smile. There's just so many good ones, isn't there? I do like the idea of having the same one on back and front on the card. Like I say, you're not using them all up then. People aren't going to get fed up of seeing them. I send that many cards out. I need to have a choice. Oh, yeah. So let me know what you think. Make sure you go shopping at, well, not go shopping, that sounds awful. Have a look at Danny's stuff. Honestly, there's not just these stamps, there's other stuff there as well. Check it out. Honestly. Right, so I'll just show you. If whoever gets this, I am sorry about that and that. But I am still sending it you because the card's not cheap. Look at the back. See, you're getting... Oh, there's a perfect stamp. I should have put that on the back. Where is it? Here. This card is handmade. It comes with splodgers, visible glue, fingerprints and wonky lines. That's what I should have put on it. And then I could have put an arrow to it, couldn't I? Hey, there's time yet. Right. So we've got that one. We've got this pretty one. I do think that's dead pretty. But I do this and all. So simple. And you don't have to cover it out. You don't have to cover that because it's permanent ink. We've just made it waterproof. Is it waterproof? No. Is it? Do you know what? They're not, are they? Wait a minute. I can tell you. This is the card. Might have to cover that. I can't think. Are the zigs waterproof? They can't be because they react with water. Yeah, it wants covering. Of course it does. What's wrong with me? Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I liked that. So when I come off now, I'll cover that bit there. Don't have to cover the writing. And I'll cover that with this. And you can't tell when it's on. So I don't even know what I was thinking then. This is fine. That's all permanent ink. That's fine. I did these, which I've shown you anyway. This was just using some pattern paper that I've got, different sizes. I'll be doing some with just pattern paper as well. If I don't have a lot of time to do like this, then I'll do the pattern paper. But I'll just show you these. This was me just literally just trying stuff. So I did this one and put the clouds on. They will want covering, that won't. I haven't written on these yet, obviously, but just to show you, nice little address and stamp. This one was stenciled on. This will want that all over, so when I put somebody's name on, then I'll put it on, otherwise I won't be able to write on it. And I'll leave that little corner there just for my stamp without, and I think that's lovely on a card. This was just pattern paper. Something lovely inside. Recycle me at your own risk. And I did actually do a vellum lining. This was before I decided I weren't going to put any liners in. Waste of money. Save your money. I did that just to waterproof that, just to see what it'd look like. Oh, I didn't show you that. I'll do it on live if I get time. That's a great idea if you don't want to do what else. And this one was my favourite. That's permanent ink. Shop handmade. It's in them stamps. I just did it in 2 bits. So I put it in there. And this is just a stencil. And I did it on back on envelope and all. And I thought that looked really cool, that will need covering with the glaze. So I've left it until I do the address. And it's all right there because my stamp will go there. But I thought that would be really lovely. That will be one I'll probably turn to most because it's super quick. And it looks good. So right, I'm going to get out of your way. I do like, that's my favourite. That's my second favourite. And then that one. And they're all easy. And I'm impressed with that. Right, I'm off. I'll see you tonight on live. Bye. I love you.